Science, and that was Chemicals for Breakfast. I really, really like this tune. Now it's an older one, but still a great tune because these guys really encompass the 60s and 70s and kind of put they kind of tripped out, trippy feel to the whole song and are new sounding but old sounding at the same time.
So it's a very sexy track. That I love it. And they've got a new track out called "You and I," which is going to be released tomorrow. And that one, they've actually kind of, what I like about them is they're really evolving. So they've gone from that, and then they've gone to something which is quite sort of mature, catchy, loads of great hooks. And I mean, that's one to check out tomorrow. As I say, it's being released, and it's called "You and I." So that's why we played them today, because they're very cool. What do you think, Nathan?
Yeah, pretty trippy, that, isn't it? Nice little. Yeah, I like the back end of the tune. Those little guitar sounds and that, I like it. Yeah, it's the kind of thing I'd probably listen to whilst smoking a peace pipe in the bath.
With your bubbles.
With my bubbles, my baby sham. And my rubber duck. Yeah, but no, I liked it. It was all right. That, what are they called again?
Science. Science. Yeah, on Twitter they're under Science UK.
Yeah, man. Yeah, good. Big up.
Right on.
Did I just say big up?
Yeah, you did.
I apologise for that as well.
That's graceful. So how did the Piccadilly Rats react to you? You know, wanting to do a movie on them?
Yeah, I think they were quite pleased. Yeah, I think they're just happy for the attention, to be honest with you. No, but I think they were quite pleased. Yeah, they're all really looking forward to it. And what I failed to mention before was the actual storyline of the documentary is quite poignant, really, to the band, because it's not only kind of a fly on the wall documentary about following these crazy buskers around, there's a bit of a storyline that runs through it. One of their dancers was called Dave the Rave. He was a bit of a character, and he died suddenly, unfortunately. And because he didn't have any family alive to declare his body, he was set for a pauper's grave. So the rest of the band kind of chipped in, and with friends and stuff like that, and managed to give him a proper send off and get him buried next to his mum and dad. But the only thing they couldn't afford to do was have his headstone engraved. So he's got a faceless headstone. So basically this documentary not only follows the band, but it kind of concludes with a tribute gig, a charity gig in memory of Dave the Rave. And they're hoping to raise some money at that gig, which will feature at the end of the documentary, to raise enough money to get his headstone engraved, so his memory lives on.
That's wow. That's something really people should really try and support. Then it's really poignant, isn't it?
Yeah, big time, like.
Right on.
Yeah. I mean, who wants to fit? I know you're dead, and once you're dead, nobody, you don't give a shit because you're dead. But you don't want to fix the head stuff, do you?
I was going to say, it's about who remembers you afterwards, though, isn't it? And visits the the grave to sort of
exactly.
In your memory. So it is important. Of course, it is. It's yeah. So Brian, did you have any questions for Nathan?
Well, just pretty much one more. Like, where or how did you pick the Piccadilly Rats as your idea for your documentary, as opposed to some of the other bands around Manchester and the UK?
Well, the Piccadilly Rats, believe it or not, even though they're quite renowned in Manchester and they're a permanent fixture on the streets of Manchester, and everybody knows who they are and stuff like that. But I actually know the lead singer quite well, and it was, I knew him 3 or 4 years before he even started this busking band, because we used to work together, selling newspapers on the streets of Manchester. And we used to skive off together, and we used to sneak off to the park and drink Guinness and that, and and whatnot. And so I got to know him on a level, really. And so, and I kind of always I left. He's still there. I probably shouldn't be saying this, because talking about skiving, he's still there. So he might have dropped dropping me in a bit of trouble here, like, but anyway, we've always kept in contact and stuff like that. So he's always let me know what he's doing and stuff like that. And just so happens, he's become the lead singer of this busking band, and so I thought just a great subject for a documentary.
Oh, I don't know. I'm just always curious. I mean, because I wouldn't say any documentary is necessarily self-explanatory. It's just that I'm always curious as to where some of the ideas come from to make these things, whether it's actually real or mockumentary, that sort of thing. Just because, I mean, I know there's a lot of work that goes involved, so it's always interesting to me to see how these are actually kind of put together and kind of how the creative process works, because it's something I don't hear about too often.
Yeah, totally. Like, yeah. I see where, I know where you're coming from, and it's gonna be good. It's gonna be really, really good. You know what I mean? And I can say that all night, like, but
But you want people to support the project. That's the main thing. Any kind of even if it's a fiver, all fivers are worthwhile, aren't they? Towards helping towards the. How long have we got? Well, how long is left on the?
I think it's about 28 days left. We're looking to get about $2,000 to make it. Like we're up to 390 at the moment, so there's 28 days left. So there's plenty of time for people to dig deep. And I'm not the best salesman either. Like I can write, produce, direct, and get the job done. One thing I'm not good at is this. but
I'd like a little plea out. I'd like to say to anybody that is into kind of indie films and wants to support sort of new filmmakers, make a pledge. Small pledge is a pledge, whatever it is. Help indie makers make these movies, because this is one that's well worth, creating. So
it's good. Just to, even if it's just a fiver, you know what I mean? It's you can't even get a pint for that in some places in the UK nowadays, can you? You'd be lucky to get, especially in London. Like, I went to London not so long ago. Went to some boozer there. Like, I think it was not that far off a fiver for a pint of lager. Daft. So support indie film and not these rip-off London pubs.
If there was a film, I tell you, that you could have been involved with, do you have one sort of at the top of your list, Nathan?
What, like in a dream world type thing?
Yeah.
Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas, Taxi Driver, and Dead Man's Shoes.
Yeah, very good movies.
And that's just off the top of my head.
What is it about Martin Scorsese that you really like?
His eyebrows. Gorgeous eyebrows, like, and his lovely slick back silver hair, and he looks really nice in a bow tie as well. I just like his grit and his honesty and his the attitude not to abide by the Academy. Like, Martin Scorsese, he's been nominated several times, like, but he only finally got an Oscar for Best Director when it comes to the Departed, and that's because he didn't abide by the rules. Like, Steven Spielberg said, Martin Scorsese, before he won an Oscar, Martin Scorsese is the greatest film director in America today, but he's not won an Oscar. That's because all the shirt and ties at the Academy want, Forrest Gump and and all these kind of feel good bullshit films, like, do you know what I mean? Martin Scorsese is honest, he's gritty, and he's not afraid to put things out there that, like I say, that don't abide to the mainstream so much.
Right.
It's a shame they're not prepared to think out the box, really, isn't it? Sometimes I think with who they choose to give Oscars to, which is a shame, because there's so much wealth of different sort of filmmaking going on that needs to be kind of commended, really.
Yeah, totally. And I think the Oscars has become a bit of a gimmick and a bit of a joke, really. Like, and I think it's overrated because the films that win it are just, there's a big scene out there. There's some real proper good gritty, honest films out there, and unsung artists who and putting everything out there, and you know what I mean.
Right.
Do you know what I mean? Rinsing the souls and stuff like, and you know, and the person that wins the Oscars is Matthew McConaughey and fucking people like that. You know what I mean? And you know, even though he's an actor, he's not a director. Like, you know what I mean? I'm sorry, I'm going off on one here a little bit.
Yeah, you just swore there, Nathan.
Oh, did I? Sorry.
Can you just remind listeners how they can help? You know, how they can pledge towards your project?
Yes, it's if you go onto the Indiegogo page, and on the search bar type in Piccadilly Rats, that'll take you straight to our page, and you'll see the different contributions that you can make and the different perks you can pick up from that and whatnot. And or you can follow us on Twitter to check our progress, and there's plenty of links on there as well. There's myself there, which is at Low Geese, and our producer Mr. Peeps, which is at Mr. Peeps Says, and you know, you can navigate your way to making the contribution through those avenues, I suppose.
Yeah, okay, no, that's brilliant. Well, you know, it's a worthy cause, and then you're going to be doing the Rum Bastard. Well, I'm swearing now, but
you swore then, bitch.
Holy shit, guys! Come on.
It's like an episode of Jeremy Kyle, this, or Jerry Springer.
Yeah.
So, and you're going to be filming next year, aren't you? So there'll be more exciting stuff to support as well next year.
Yeah, we're gonna shoot the final season of Rum Bar Stools next year, early next year, and then hopefully, if we raise enough cash, we'll get this little documentary done as well. So in the new year, we should have two decent films to put out there.
Fantastic.
Oh. Okay, guys. Well, that is going to wrap it up. So, Nathan, thank you so much for coming on the show.
Oh, thank you. Thanks for having me.
Really enjoyed it.
Absolutely.
Cheers, guys.
Yeah.
Guys. Oh, you did it again.
So, we're going to finish up the show here with a poem by Forgotten Bee called Instincts. Dig this.
Instincts. Should we trust them? Sometimes we should go exactly with how we feel.